Coming up on State of Events, Sri Lanka is making some major changes following the terrorist attack.
And the ghost ship fire trial has started with opening statements. Find out the details next.
Welcome back to State of Events. I'm Ashley Loessa.
And I'm Alexis Gonzalez. We have some breaking news. Fire officials say that the body of a missing Hayward teenager has just been found outside of Pier 39. The SFPD are investigating the cause of death. Hey, Ashley, on a much more fun note, did you know that Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, is going to speak at our commencement ceremony?
I did not. Give me some more details.
Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi will be the keynote speaker at San Francisco State's commencement ceremony this year. The ceremony will take place on May 28th at San Francisco's Oracle Park, formerly known as AT&T Park. Pelosi has represented San Francisco's 12th district in Congress for 31 years and is well known for being the first woman ever elected to serve as Speaker of the House. Pelosi's visit has sparked up mixed feelings between those who are looking forward to her speech and those who are not.
Well, back in the White House, Speaker Pelosi has some strong words for President Trump. She says the president has demonstrated on a daily basis his obstruction of justice. This comes amid conflict between the White House and Congress over the terms of scheduled testimony by General Attorney William Barr before the House Judiciary Committee.
Opening statements of the ghost ship trial began today at around 9:30 a.m. Nearly 2 years after 36 people were killed in a warehouse fire, attorneys finally have a chance to present the case to the jury that will determine if the two men who planned the event are guilty. As of now, the defendants Derek Almina and Max Harris are each facing 36 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Opening statements will continue until Wednesday, and witnesses are scheduled to testify on May 6th.
Students and faculty at SF State received an alert on Monday for a shelter-in-place after an incident on Tapia Drive. Reporter Lisa Liberniak was at the scene following the police activity on campus.
I'm Lisa Liberniak for State of Events, and I'm currently on Tapia Drive next to the Humanities Building. Around 9 a.m. on Monday morning, UPD officers pulled over this white Mercedes-Benz directly in front of the south entrance of Humanities. Records show the vehicle is reported stolen out of San Francisco, so officers ordered the driver to exit, but he refused. Students parked along Tapia Drive had to wait for their car to be brought out by police since it was closed off.
And everybody here has been waiting for their cars for like an hour and a half.
The scene escalated quickly as the driver began making suicidal statements, saying he wanted officers to shoot him. Both UPD and SFPD responded to the scene and began negotiating with the driver that it was safe to exit. Soon after, the driver voluntarily exited the vehicle and immediately attempted to retreat back into it. A statement from SF State University Police Department says based on the driver's suicidal statements and the possibility of weapons in the vehicle, he was forcibly removed and taken into custody. No further details are available on the name of the suspect and his history. He is being charged with possession of a stolen vehicle and an outstanding warrant for his arrest. In San Francisco, Lisa Liberniak, State of Events.
Berkeley police are investigating a sexual assault by two men at a UC Berkeley fraternity house. Berkeley police say the student reported being assaulted on Sunday after midnight at an off-campus fraternity. The name of the fraternity has not been released, only the location on the 2700 block of Channing Way. The victim told investigators the assailants are about 18 years old. It is unknown if they are UC Berkeley students. Anyone with information regarding the incident is advised to call Berkeley PD. 26-year-old Casey Long has been arrested after allegedly starting a fire outside of an Uber building in Daly City. The fire was ignited near the front door of the building and was reported by a witness who saw Casey's strange behavior. Authorities do not believe the Uber building was specifically targeted.
The American Lung Association warns that Bay Area air quality has drastically worsened in the past 2 years. For the first time in almost 20 years, the Bay Area did not receive any A's for the pollution. Experts believe that the results may be due to hotter temperatures, the high amount of wildfires, and an increase in traffic. San Francisco Muni Chief Ed Riskin is stepping down from his post in August. The announcement came just days after an overhead wire malfunction between Powell and the Civic Center caused Muni services to stop for 10 hours. Due to the city's agency's continuous issues with shortages of Muni bus drivers, constant delays, and employee complaints, Mayor Breed made it clear she is looking for new leadership. Riskin, who has served as a director of transportation since 2011, shared with his employment agreement he is ready for a change. On a more lighter note, this weekend I had the chance to go to the Bayview neighborhood and check out a community event in which SF State students, preschoolers, and community members came together to paint a mural. Let's take a look. A mixture of painting supplies, a gray pink wall, and people of all ages lined a particular street in the Bayview district this weekend, all with one thing in common: paint a community mural.
We really wanted to bring the spirit and the excitement that we experienced in South Africa last summer to the community.
Advanced, a program at San Francisco State known for its mission to promote equity in early childhood education, is hosting a mural painting event to promote community and inclusiveness.
The event really came about because for the past 7 years, we've been running a study abroad program in Cape Town, South Africa, working in the township of Vrygrond. All the children are working on the mural and painting the mural, and it's a sense that it belongs to them.
Participants like Christine Navarez, who attended the event with her 3 children, hope the mural will serve as a way of uniting the community.
This is a community event. We're bringing the community together to make a beautiful mural to reflect the great parts of this community and just bring everyone together.
I'm painting these 2 walls. I'm all done. Probably should ask me my favorite color.
Oh, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
While others like Noelle believe the mural can help children leave a mark.
This mural can help be a hallmark for some of these kids who may move out of this city to have something to come back to and know that they were a part of.
Berger explained where the inspiration for the event came from.
It's about a little girl who inspires and paints a mural in her community, and it's actually based off of a true story. So there's actually pictures of the mural they created. So we kind of use this as a leeway into this project.
And well-known muralist Liber Gutierrez talked about his laid-back approach to art.
A lot of improvisation and getting motivated by the people that are involved in it. Art it's an international language.
It's been almost a year since they painted a mural in South Africa, and yet everyone involved could not stop talking about the impacts it had on the community. They are confident the mural will have the same effects in the Bayview neighborhood.
A city with color is a city more beautiful than a gray one.
The event will continue until Friday, and everyone is invited to participate. So if you feel like going out and letting your creative juices flow, you can find them on 3rd and Hudson from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
With all the heavy, hard news you just heard, I think it's time to shift gears for a minute. Up next is Samuel Chua, who is with us in the studio with some positive news.
Thank you, ladies. I just watched the news yesterday and everything's bad. Let me check the newspaper. Death, car accidents, arson, what? Everything's bad. With all the bad news happening around the country, we often miss the positive and inspirational stories that is happening in our community. Well, I'm here to remind you that there is good news. As part of their community outreach efforts, members of the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, as well as recruits in the Current Academy, surprised one very brave girl. 9-year-old Sophie Strong from Gilroy has been battling stage 4 brain cancer since December 2016. Suffered a few setbacks in recent months. Inspired by her story on Instagram, Jeanette Nunes, a technician at the Sheriff's Office, wanted to do something special for Sophie. Together with the current recruits in the Academy class, they raised more than $6,000 to surprise Sophie with a gift. An all-expense paid trip to Disneyland for Sophie and her entire family. This was all made possible by the heroes in our community. A local food bank is about to begin a major expansion as new data finds that hunger is still an ongoing problem in the Bay Area. The San Francisco Marine Food Bank has reached capacity both at its longtime warehouse in San Francisco's Dog Patch and at a building in Nevada it has been leasing to serve Marin County as they continue to improve their services. New reports show that low-income residents in San Francisco and Marin missed over 35 million meals in 2017, down from a high of 62 million in 2013. However, 35 million is still a high number, and in order to lower the number of missed meals, San Francisco Marine Food Bank are now adding 28,000 square feet of warehouse space and renovate a facility in San Rafael to serve more people in need. The work is expected to be done by the summer of 2021, and the cost of both projects, $40 million. Speaking of Marin, 100 Marin City kids received a surprise Saturday that made them very happy. Students from Bayside MLK Academy in Marin County each received a pair of Nike shoes. These shoes came courtesy of the group Half a Soul from Los Angeles. The Academy reached out to the community group and said that they were very happy to come through with these gifts for the kids. The group has a contract with Nike to provide new shoes to underdeserved communities. The Academy says it hopes that the giveaway will become an annual event. Well, that's all I have today of your good news roundup. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Well, thank you, Sam, for all that goodness. Next on State of Events, a Russian spy with flippers was spotted off the Norwegian coast.
And find out which nearby city had a horrific attack on their synagogue.
When it's time to choose healthcare for your team, you want the best. When it's time for your team's questions to be answered, you want a professional you can trust. At Valencia Health Services, your time is well spent. We provide professional, quality healthcare. Valencia Health Services, dedicating quality time to professional healthcare because your team's health is our first priority. Valencia Health Services, quality time because we care.
Infantryman.
Welcome back to State of Events. The woman who was killed by a gunman at a synagogue in San Diego was laid to rest on Monday. Lori Gilbert Kay was shot and killed after she jumped between the shooter and the congregation's rabbi. The rabbi and two others, including a child, were injured in the attack, which took place 6 months after the shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. The shooter of 19-year-old John Ernest opened fire with an AR-style rifle on Saturday, opening fire with around 100 people inside. The shooting happened on the last day of Passover, which fell on the Shabbat. This year, Kay was one of the synagogue's founding members when it first opened its doors in 1986, and she was with her daughter and husband when the attack took place. Kay is remembered as an upbeat and positive force among friends and congregations.
A former U.S. Army infantryman accused of plotting a mass casualty terrorist attack at a white nationalist rally in Long Beach, California, has been arrested by the Department of Justice. Mark Steven Domingo was arrested on Friday after he received what he thought was a bomb from an undercover source working with the FBI. If convicted, Domingo could face 15 years in federal prison.
Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein submits his resignation to President Trump. Rosenstein was responsible for appointing special counsel Robert Mueller to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. In his resignation letter, Rosenstein praised the president for his policy goals and promoted the Justice Department as a nonpartisan enforcer of the law. He intended to leave his position last month, but stayed for the completion of the Mueller probe, which Rosenstein had overseen. His successor, Deputy Transportation Secretary Jeffrey Rosen, has already been nominated by the Trump and is awaiting Senate confirmation. Rosenstein's resignation will be effective on May 11.
We're going to pass things over to Alexandra Hernandez to get an update on the 2020 presidential campaign.
Thank you, ladies. Now for your lowdown on the 2020 presidential election. Although the election is about a year away, 20 Democrats and only one candidate from the GOP are running in hopes to take on Trump. All contenders who have announced their campaign were required to report how much money they've raised between January 1st and March 30th of 2019. Final reports were to be submitted April 15th to the Federal Election Commission. So how much have the candidates raised so far? Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has collected a whopping $18.2 million for his campaign. Kamala Harris has also surpassed the $10 million mark, raking in $12 million to date. Former Vice President Joe Biden announced his campaign just last week, and in the first 24 hours, he was able to raise $6.3 million, which is more than 12 candidates have made in the first quarter alone. 14 out of 16 competitors are currently above the $1 million mark. Mayor Wayne Massam has the lowest funding with $40,000, and former U.S. Representative John Delaney at $400,000. Of course, let's keep in mind that the money raised is no indication of potential success. Many candidates have been able to collect contributions from across the country through organizational donations and both small and large donors. Majority of the money raised goes towards media advertisement, campaign expenses, and other miscellaneous costs. A comprehensive report on campaign spending is available online at fec.gov. That's all I have for you today. Back to you ladies at the desk.
The president of Sri Lanka has banned all face coverings after a series of terrorist attacks at prominent churches and hotels left hundreds of people dead. President Maithripala Sirisena says the emergency law is meant to ensure national security to help authorities identify people. The ban took effect on Monday and applies to anything covering the face, which could include burqas, niqabs, and helmets or masks. Burqas and niqabs are facial coverings worn by Muslim women across the world. Some say the new act violates their rights. At least one Sri Lankan hotel has reportedly banned facial coverings after the attack. A suspected Russian spy was found near a small Norwegian fishing village. The suspect in question is actually a white whale. Yes, a white whale. Fishermen in the waters of Inga reported that a white beluga whale wearing a strange harness approached their fishing boats. The whale began to seek out vessels and tried to pull straps and ropes from the sides of the boats. The tight harness, which seemed to be for a camera or weapon, raised suspicion among the marine experts that the whale had been given military-grade training by Russia.
Next on State of Events, find out what a man did to pay his respects to a complete stranger.
And find out which Bay Area team could be the Cinderella story of the year.
There are many important days in your child's life. Their first birthday, their first big game, their first day of school. Choosing the right school for your child sets them on a path for success. Apply on time. It's for your family's future.
No matter how much you give, every cent donated can turn into something useful. Take part in building homes. Take part in building hope. Habitat for Humanity, Greater San Francisco. Building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
Claudia is a pre-med student in search of a global health experience. She desires a program abroad that provides cultural immersion. Claudia wants a credible program that affirms her interest in the medical field. Most importantly, she seeks an international, community-based health program. Claudia finds herself with Child Family Health International. How will you distinguish yourself? Visit cfhi.org.
Welcome back to State of Events. Pupping season is upon us. That's right, seals are giving birth to pups in beaches all over Northern California. And although that is great news, the Marine Mammal Center wants to remind us that it is about to enter their busiest rescue season of the year. So they ask observers to please admire from a distance, because wildlife can't be wild if humans are involved. With over more than 150 patients already in their Sausalito Hospital, the Marine Mammal Center is being especially adamant about marine life safety this year. A photo of a man in Bloomington, Indiana is going viral after he was photographed paying respect to a passing funeral procession. The unidentified man is seen standing in the rain beside his car with his hat on his chest and head bowed, while a funeral procession passed by. The photo was posted on Facebook by Joy Wagler, who said, "I don't know him, but he is a wonderful example of how we need to act when a funeral procession comes through." While we are driving, Wagler's post has been shared as Facebook users applaud the man for his small act of compassion.
Next, we have reporter Nicole Gitsky, who waits in San Jose, talking about the team's unlikely series win in round 1 of the playoffs.
Bay Area sports fans have their hands full currently with baseball season, Warriors clinching playoffs, and the Sharks heading to the second round of playoffs. I got the chance to talk with some fans regarding what is thought of as a Cinderella story for the Sharks.
I'm here at the SAP Center for the second round of playoffs. The San Jose Sharks are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Some are saying that the first round for the Sharks is something out of a fairy tale. Let's take it over to some fans to see what they think.
I'm honestly still trying to rationalize what happened over the last week, especially that 5-minute major, which let's just say was legit.
Well, being here, I mean, I was really scared. It was really scary watching it because, I mean, it looked really bad from where we were sitting. He's the captain, so it's a bummer always to see that happen.
One of the scariest injuries I've ever seen.
It's sad to say that it helped us a lot because we got that 5 minutes in. It's unfortunate that he got injured, but if it wasn't for those 5 minutes that we got, we would have not made it to the second round.
What you hear fans referencing is the nail-biting 7th game against the Las Vegas Knights in the first round of playoffs. In the third quarter, Joe Pavelski suffered a serious injury, changing the path for the Sharks. Knights' Cody Aiken was ejected from the game, and the team suffered a 5-minute penalty. Sharks were able to rally back during the power play, scoring 2 goals, followed by 2 more before the end of the third quarter to take the game into overtime. Sharks are hoping their fairy tale-like story can continue for the second round and help them advance. Pavelski had to sit out for the game on Friday, but the Sharks held it together, ending with a win 5-2. Game 2 of the series was on Sunday, and the Sharks fell short 3-4. Game 3 is tonight at 7 in Colorado, where the series is tied up 1-1.
The Sharks were eliminated during the first round last year against the Las Vegas Knights. They're looking to clinch their first ever Stanley Cup win, a franchise best this season. One thing is for sure, sports fans are getting a heavy dose this year. Game 3 is tonight, where Sharks are looking to take it. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thank you, Nicole. Well, that's all we have for this week. To stay updated with all things Gator news, follow us on our social media platforms.
And don't forget to check us out on our website, stateofevents.net. I'm Ashley Loessa.
And I'm Alexis Gonzalez. See you next week.